AITA for telling my son that I'm not his piggy bank. My 35-year-old son, let's call him Willie, just called me a few hours ago. Willie has never been financially savvy, despite excelling in school and landing a stable job in engineering. He still lives paycheck to paycheck. I've tried sitting down with him repeatedly to discuss what he can cut from his budget, but he insists that everything is essential, and we usually end up arguing. Well, Willie must be acting extremely irresponsibly now because he called practically begging me for money to cover his expenses. He tried to guilt-trip me, saying things like, "I'm your only son," and "things are harder nowadays." I explained to Willie that it was rich to hear him grovel since he had every opportunity to improve his financial situation and chose not to. I asked him if he thought it felt good to be ignored every time we went over his budget. Willie didn't respond because he knew I was right, and instead, he hung up on me. If he calls back, I'll tell him right away that he won't get a cent from me. I can't imagine hanging up on a parent mid-sentence. The disrespect that shows is astounding. While it's true that my wife and I have managed to live in a nice single-family home in the suburbs for many years, it's not like we have a ton of money left at the end of each month. We live extremely modestly, only going on one vacation per quarter. Several of our friends are digital nomads who essentially travel full-time, and if we made their kind of money, perhaps we could too. When I called my wife to tell her what happened, she said that we could spare a few bucks to help Willie out. I became really frustrated with her and told her to toughen up. Willie is the type of person who spends whatever extra money he has, and he has all sorts of unusual piercings and tattoos to prove it. One of his arms is almost completely covered at this point, and it honestly shocks me every time he comes home for a visit. My wife got upset and hung up on me too, and now both my son and my wife are giving me attitude. I seriously don't think my point of view is that unreasonable. We only gross about $200,000 per year, and the taxes we pay take a huge chunk out of that. It can be a struggle even for us in today's economy. I just don't know how to help people who refuse to help themselves, and Willie's entitlement makes me sick and ashamed to be his father. I don't know what else to do. So AITA for telling my son that I'm not his piggy bank?